Hi Cancer, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a reading for April. Check in with your higher self and your guides, make a clear connection, and ask them to connect with me and my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop to bring through messages that are tailored for you. Please don't multitask while you're watching this reading. I would like to make sure that you make the most out of the messages that come through for you and that you don't waste your time and miss out on anything that comes through. We're going to have a look at the general energies and then pull a second spread with another deck called the Higher Octave spread for some further information. So let's take a look at the energies available for Cancer at this time. We have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Wands reversed, crossed by the Knight of Wands, the Moon, Page of Swords, Five of Swords reversed, Six of Wands, Death reversed, Hierophant reversed, Three of Cups, Page of Cups, Seven of Wands reversed, Three of Swords, Temperance reversed, and Justice reversed. Interesting spread here, Cancer. A lot of major arcana cards in your spread. Yeah, we have Justice, the Death card, Hierophant, Temperance, and the Moon. So, give me a second here to tune in. First impressions here is that there is something really deep and metaphysical happening for you at this time. Like there's something happening on a level that you maybe are only just beginning to start to perceive. Some of you might be going through some really deep changes emotionally and psychically, and that could be bringing about some upheaval in your kind of external world. That's what I feel in this spread. There could be some changes here where you might be questioning some of your commitments or some of your responsibilities and looking for ways in which you could kind of perhaps eliminate some of those things so that you have less responsibilities on your plate at this time. Because I feel like for some of you, you might be feeling into a lot of these kind of subtler energies that you're becoming aware of now. And it may be that you want to kind of dedicate more of your time to actually really bring more awareness to those things. And so it could be that you're looking for ways to sort of free up some of your time from the day-to-day mundane routines or people or experiences that are requiring, you know, a little more of your time and attention, so that you can actually bring through this thing in a way that you're fully cognizant of, and you're not just kind of having something going on in the background or below the surface. Like, I feel that you really want to pay more attention to what this is and become conscious of what has been unconscious. That's what it says here. With the Moon in the crowning card position of this reading, it's very significant. So the Moon card just defines the unconscious or describes the unconscious. This is also one of your cards, being Moon ruled sign. And in the spread that I have here, this position here is what's in the unconscious mind. And this is the unconscious card, but it's in the position of the conscious mind. That's telling me that you want to become more aware of what's in the unconscious mind and bring it to your awareness, illuminate it, so that you can have a better understanding of what it is that you're actually working with. I feel there's a lot of communication around this time, but again, I don't feel this. You have these two pages here in your reading, and the pages are again about communication, or they can also be about studying or learning, like early development of something. And again, because you have this card here in the unconscious mind, I feel that there's an element here of you perhaps waking up to some of the wisdom that's being communicated from your unconscious mind, and you may be wanting to kind of pay more attention to that so you can really tap in and be a little bit more aware and conscious of what information is coming to you from other places that you may have not been fully aware of until recently. Now, these four major arcana cards down here in this part of the spread, as I mentioned, you have Justice upright with Death reversed, and then you have Temperance and Hierophant both reversed. So there's a lot of high-powered cards here that are describing, there could be something here with like institutions, again, responsibilities, perhaps legal matters, could be commitments. I'm hearing devotion. So because there's three reversals here and the Justice is upright, I kind of feel like what this is describing here is your desire to kind of get a little bit of space from, or liberation from, or freedom from things that have maybe making you feel bound up in responsibilities and especially in the needs of other people. I feel like there's this energy in you that wants to focus more just on like what's coming up for you, what subtle energies you're starting to tap into, what kind of expressions that you've been dedicated to in the past that you may feel are sort of waning away into the background. And maybe you've had some inner conflict about this recently, and you're kind of looking to sort of solve the riddle of why you feel conflicted and confused by actually just like putting certain things down that you've already kind of had in question for some time, so that you can, as I said, give a little bit more space for the volume to get turned up on whatever this subtle energy communication is that's coming in. Now, you have at the heart of the reading the Queen of Wands in the reverse position, crossed by the Knight of Wands, also in reverse. I feel that at the moment this could be explaining that you may be feeling a little bit upside down, turned around by the changes that you're experiencing in your subtle body. You know, I feel like there's an element here of you. Maybe there's like, you might be experiencing moodiness at this time and a little bit of irritability and frustration. And that may have something to do with the fact that you, or whether or not this is true for you, you may have had some ongoing inner conflict about what your journey is really about, or the direction that you're taking, or the things that you wish to prioritize, or the sort of activities that you want to prioritize and give more time to. As I said earlier, there may be this energy that's been overshadowing you for a while, where you sense that the responsibilities in the external world from your work or your family or your partner may be distracting you or interfering with your ability to really tune in and focus on the work at hand, that you are kind of becoming aware of these subtle frequencies that you're opening up to. And I really feel like in this spread there's like this desire for you to kind of put down or set aside things that may have been important to you or still are important to you, and that require your awareness and your attention, but you kind of want to just give you a little bit more of an energy to this experience, so that you can understand and realize what it is. And you know, it's like you may have been feeling emotionally guarded in a way. I feel that in this top part of the reading, the Three of Swords with the Three of Cups, and this Page of Cups with Seven of Wands in reverse, connected to the Six of Wands and the Moon card. What I feel from these four cards is that you might be feeling like you want to have less to do with the outside world, less trifling, gossiping kind of talking and sharing and socializing. And you might have been feeling a little bit like guarded or a bit on the back foot with regard to, again, all this energy that I'm feeling around you, where there's a need for other people's people wanting your attention, or people wanting your energy or your devotion or your whatever it is with regard to their needs. And you kind of want to just like put all that sort of to the side for a moment and focus on your own personal healing journey at the moment, and to be able to really pay attention to this communication that's coming through from the unconscious mind, so that you can build a little bit more of your awareness and confidence. Because I feel like for a lot of you, there's been this growing awareness and need for some time to actually be more tapped into a higher wisdom, and that's, I feel, what's coming through here. And you have this desire now to be more open to it than ever before, with all this energy at the top of the reading, the Three of Cups, Page of Cups with the Moon, like all this watery receptive energy. Like I feel your receptivity to it, but there's this energy here of having to kind of fend off other people to be able to get into the space where you can actually really connect with that energy and tune into it and bring in whatever's there waiting for you to sort of access. So I feel this is a really important time for you to just like surrender to that and overcome, you know, like the needs of others, and just be more honest with yourself about what you're actually available to do right now, and give yourself the time and energy that's here that you need to kind of address this Queen of Wands in reverse, where you might be feeling frustrated and irritable, and actually deal with it in the way that you know you can, and not, rather than like sort of point the finger at external events or situations or people or things that are going on around you that might be making you feel irritable, and actually deal with your own self feeling irritable because you're not really in true alignment with what you're feeling is correct for you at this time. And that's the real issue here. It's not about other people being a disturbance or other people's needs of pulling on you and kind of drawing on your energy. This is more about you paying attention to what you're being called to do, how your energy is being drawn, tugged, so that you can actually be in alignment with that and really feel connected to this thing that you are sensing. Bottom of the deck, High Priestess. And all of that I just spoke on is pretty much based on this energy of the High Priestess. High Priestess and the Moon here. So you're getting, oh look, there's Ace of Cups, beautiful. Lovers reversed, Judgment reversed. Okay, so what this is telling me, basically what I've just described here, is that you're feeling this energy from another paradigm. There's an energy of metaphysics and occult and deep spiritual science here with the Hierophant, even Justice. Like all the major arcana cards in this spread are telling me that you're getting upgraded in your energetic matrix here to be able to tune into higher frequencies of energy. And you want to devote your energy to that. You want to tune into that. You want to access that. But your personal, as I said, you might be feeling irritable and frustrated about external events and people and things that you might feel need your attention or want your energy. But actually, the truth is that you just need to be clear about your boundaries and what you're available for, and distinctly define your area so that you can actually sit down and focus in on the energy that needs to come through you, and stop making it about other people getting in the way of that activity. Here with the Lovers in reverse, Judgment in reverse, again, there's some kind of revelation here that you're aware is kind of in the periphery. Like there's something really kind of sort of momentous, but at the same time it's ordinary but extraordinary. That's what I feel with the energy that's about to come in. It's like you know about it, you're aware of it. I feel like for some of you, this is some kind of contact with like an entity or an otherworldly, like maybe you're about to start communicating really clearly with your spirit guide. Maybe you know, obviously we all have spirit guides, and you may have been aware of your spirit guide, but this could be a moment here where you actually start to channel consciously and communicate consciously with this energy. And you might start to form a much more defined and clear relationship with this energy. But again, unless you actually sit down and dedicate your time to be in a meditative space to actually really tune in and into that frequency, it'll always be something in the periphery, right? So stop making excuses. Don't make it about other people getting in the way of your time and energy, and just sit down and devote a few minutes a day. That's all it's going to take. A few minutes a day. You could start by writing. For some of you with these 2 pages here, this is like automatic writing. For others of you, it's just a download, like stream of consciousness coming straight through from this higher vibrational aspect of yourself. Actually, it's not something outside of you. It's not another entity. It's not some like far away, highly evolved, enlightened master. It's actually an aspect of your own energy that you are tuning into, that is living with you, but also operating in other dimensional realms. So that for some of you might have been a lot to take in. I trust that if you're here on this channel, you're not new to any of this kind of stuff, and you're already aware simply by clicking through onto this video that this is what's happening in your experience. So let me just check over here and see if there's anything else. Otherwise, I think that's it for this reading. I do feel like there will be contact for some of you, like with the High Priestess and the Moon and the 6 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. I do feel like there is going to be like a successful experience here for you that will give you a lot of confidence. It will help you feel a great sense of relief. For some of you, if you've been in troubled times and you've been having difficult experiences for some time now, for some of you that could be many years, you know, like you could have been in a healing crisis for many years. And it's not to say that this moment of this contact or this experience that could be around for you will make that healing crisis end, but it's more about the feeling of that support and that energy. It's kind of a validation of all the things you've been feeling. It feels very supportive. It feels very uplifting to have this kind of energy communication come through that will just, for a lot of you, it's going to put a lot of stress and tension and worry at ease, because you'll understand that there is sort of like a a higher energy, a higher power, a higher order working with you to facilitate your own healing path. So it gives you, it's like this feeling of a sigh of relief, you know. That's what I feel. With this, again, just coming back to these 4 major arcana here, and I might add there's another 3 major arcana coming out in this part of the reading. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 major arcana cards in your spread. So this is a pretty major time for you. There is an accelerated growth spurt happening, and definitely there is this like deepening connection with your own self, with your own inner wisdom, like a communion. That's, I think, the Lovers is speaking about here. You know, there's maybe at this moment there isn't that total complete alignment, but with this moment that you give yourself to really tune into this really subtle energy, you can get that alignment that you've been seeking for a long time. And that's what the revelation that's waiting for you is coming through with the Judgment card. So stop putting this off. Just sit down and connect. Be in your meditative space and really open yourself up to this higher aspect version of yourself that's ready and willing and able to communicate with you, to help sort of keep you in a calm, centered space and free of anxiety, and just in touch with like a higher order of things to help understand that everything's actually just as it should be. What I was going to say here before about the Hierophant, Temperance, Death and Justice is that for some of you, what I feel for some people watching this reading, maybe just one person, there's an element in here where you may be coming from a very religious background, one that has a lot of dogma and maybe is poo-pooing this kind of mystical, this kind of, I'm trying to avoid saying New Age, but this kind of mystical understanding of life. And that might be what is the resistance between you actually making contact with this part of yourself. You might be feeling like it goes against your religion or it goes against what you've been taught. And seeing the Hierophant come out here with Temperance reverse, with Death in reverse and Justice upright, I feel like you're ready to actually break free of the dogma of your foundational learning that you've grown up with or that you've embedded yourself in, to experience a kind of liberation outside of those kind of restrictive rules that are actually not true. Like the way that religions teach, most religions, not counting Buddhism, most religions teach their patrons or their people that they need a higher order, a higher entity from within their structural institution, being like a priest or whatever, to be the intermediary between God and you. And that's utterly false. And that's what's available here for you, is this realization and understanding that you are connected directly to that source of energy. And this is a moment here where you can really tune into it, feel it, hear it, taste it, touch it, and it's yours to interact with and integrate so that you can really start to operate from that place and evolve radically. Okay? Cancer, that's it for the general reading. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again. We're going to do a higher octave spread. So send your energy into the deck so I can get really clear messages for you. So this second reading is going to provide a little more insight into some of the karmic and spiritual forces at play. It might provide some additional information. It could also provide some practical advice from your guides and your higher self, if needed, as to how best to work with this energy that's available. So let's take a look. Sage of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Temperance reversed, crossed by 3 of Pentacles reversed. 6 of Swords reversed, 4 of Pentacles reversed, 5 of Crystals reversed, Ace of Wands upright. The Lovers reversed, 9 of Crystals reversed. Crystals are the swords, the air elements, it's the swords. 5 of Cups. 2 of Wands reversed, 10 of Wands, Empress reversed, Child of Crystals, and Fortune reversed. So again, more major arcana energy in this spread. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers both reversed. And we have the Empress reversed. We have Temperance in reverse. So I'm going to go ahead now and do this interpretation for this higher octave reading. If you'd like to watch this reading, click the link in the description box below and I'll see you over there. Thank you so much for watching, Cancer. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found some things in there that you can work with that will help you on your way. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next reading.